The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) is unarguably Africa's topmost anti-graft agency, created in 2003 with the mission to rid Nigeria of corruption and to effectively coordinate the domestic efforts of the global fight against money laundering and terrorist financing. Hello and thank you for joining us on another episode of The Eagle. Glad to be back after a long break. I am your host, Aisha Muhammad.
Imagine a society where everything works. Durable road networks, stable electricity supply, portable water, well-equipped and functional healthcare facilities, quality education for all, affordable housing schemes, social security benefits, job creation and a lot more that makes life comfortable to live. That is an ideal society. We can only achieve these if we all play our part. Say no to corruption to enjoy these benefits. Kill corruption to save Nigeria. This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
The EFCC, in its 17 years of existence, has retained the momentum in the fight against corruption. As part of its efforts to curb corruption, the Commission employs young individuals to achieve its mandate. Driven by the need for improved professionalism and dedication to duty, the acting chairman of the EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, in 2016, partnered with the Nigerian Defense Academy in the area of training the Commission's cadet. On February 18, 2020, we witnessed the graduation of 281 fresh anti-corruption warriors of the EFCC Detective Inspector Course 5, which had President Muhammadu Buhari as the reviewing officer. Martha Eche has details of all that took place at the Nigerian Defense Academy permanent site, Afaka, in Kaduna State. Over to you, Martha.
Corruption is dishonesty and illegal behavior by people in positions of trust. A public office is a public trust. Do not abuse positions of trust for private gains. Stay away from corruption. Nigeria is a great nation, and it is our responsibility to make the country greater. If you notice any act of corruption, please report to the EFCC via info@efccnigeria.org or call 09 904 4751 or 09 904 4752. You can also call 09 904 4753. This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
President Muhammadu Buhari has poured encomium on the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) for its sustained war against graft, economic and financial crimes, which he said has earned the government accolades on the international scene. The president was speaking at the passing out parade of the EFCC Detective Inspectors Course 5 cadets from the Nigerian Defense Academy (NDA) Kaduna. The president said the fight against corruption is being recognized by the international community as real and effective, stressing that the face of the country abroad has also changed as the international community is beginning to see Nigeria making substantial progress in the enthronement of transparency, accountability, and good governance. President Muhammadu Buhari attributed the success story to the efforts of the EFCC and other anti-graft agencies in the country, while expressing happiness in the progress that the Commission has made in areas of recruitment and training of cadet officers who have been deployed to the zonal offices across the country.
I congratulate the EFCC on its good work, and I urge that the current level of success be sustained and accelerated. Our fight against corruption is being recognized by the international community as real and effective. The face of the country abroad is also changing as the international community is beginning to see Nigeria making substantial progress in the enthronement of transparency, accountability, and good governance.
The president, however, reiterated his readiness to ensure that system reforms are deepened, emphasizing that there will be no hiding place for corrupt persons and proceeds of corruption. He said his administration, right from the inception, aligned with the Open Governance Partnership (OGP) and Global Forum for Asset Recovery, in addition to existing commitments to AU and ECOWAS Conventions Against Corruption and the United Nations Convention Against Corruption on CAC. Speaking on the reforms that the government have put in place over the last 2 years, the president listed the GIFMIS, IPPIS, Single Treasury Account and Bank Verification Number, BVN.
Given the increased success of Nigeria's anti-corruption agencies such as the EFCC in the recoveries of proceeds of crime and successful prosecution of corruption cases, discussion on the management of such assets have been upscaled in the public bureau. The commitment of the National Action Plan for Open Government Partnership states Nigeria's need for a coordinated and centralized agency for the management of recovered assets.
In his own remarks, the acting chairman of the EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, thanked President Buhari for his support and commitment to the war against corruption in Nigeria, which has earned him the title African Anti-Corruption Champion. He said the president has been consistent and tenacious to his principle of non-interference in the work of the EFCC, which has further strengthened its work.
Excellency, our mandate at the EFCC, you say, go and kill corruption. I didn't hear any other instruction. I didn't hear go and maim corruption or go and diminish corruption. Because we have zero tolerance to corruption in the EFCC. If I can quote Your Excellency, sir, you said, if you don't kill corruption, corruption will kill Nigeria and God. As it is often said in our country, tackling corruption is a clarion call, given that corruption is a huge burden to the nation. It has spread its cankerous effect to all facets of our lives. Insecurity, poverty, unemployment, falling standard of education, weak access to affordable health care, failing infrastructure, questioning integrity of the electoral process, poor business environment, and lower GDP growth, to mention just a few.
He further stated that the EFCC on its part is currently developing its statement of strategy for 2020 to 2025, which will be in line with the 5 pillars of national anti-corruption strategy, which are prevention, public engagement, ethical reorientation, institutional strengthening of anti-corruption agencies, enforcement, recovery and management of the process of corruption as reflected in the federal government's Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, ERGP 2017 to 2020. The anti-corruption czar said the commission boasts of one of the best investigative laboratories in West Africa, which has aided investigators and prosecutors in achieving accuracy and deployment of incontrovertible evidence in courts, which was done with the support of Commission's development partners. Additionally, the polygraph services were boosted with more trained professionals and services were extended to other law enforcement agencies in Nigeria. Magu also rallied the support of all Nigerians, saying tackling corruption is a clarion call, given that corruption is a huge burden to the nation, mentioning effective communication as one tool that the EFCC has deployed in both the fight against corruption and its prevention. He then used the opportunity to announce that the EFCC radio station will soon take off. Highlights of the ceremony were awards presentation in 5 categories to cadet officers who performed credibly well. The recipients of the awards were Agaku Francis Ikani, who won the Presidential Award for the overall Best Cadet, and Abubakar Salihuddin Asabi won the Chief of Defense Staff Award as second best in Economic and Financial Crimes Commission core subjects and military subjects. Other awardees include Aminu Almu, who won Economic and Financial Crimes Commission Chairman's Award for Best Cadet in Legal Studies. Commandant EFCC Academy Award for Best Cadet in Financial Studies went to Adiola Augustine, as Ibrahim Mohammed won the Commandant NDA Award for Command and Leadership.
As EFCC detective, the training has been very wonderful, transforming and very interesting. Though it was tough, but with God, everything was possible. We tried our best with all the components of the training and put up our best to see that we come out successful, and we thank God we are successful today.
Well, at first it was intense, but during the long run, seriously, I have to tell you this, it wasn't easy. The timing, making up timing, the parades, but at the end we came to realize that that's the best way to achieve regimentation, and that's why we were brought here.
I am very, very ready. I look more and more prepared. I look forward to this date, and thank God it is over now. I'm looking forward to going out there and to tackle corruption and to overcome it with all strength, to bring it down to zero level.
A total of 281 Detective Inspector Cadet officers who have been undergoing a 1-year training program at the Nigerian Defense Academy NDA graduated. Martha Eche, reporting for The Eagle.
Corruption is a cankerworm, na cankerworm. I said na cankerworm, na cankerworm. Corruption don't finish our country. Nigeria women rise up and come together, oh yeah.
Every woman come out, but we fight corruption together, oh. Every woman fall out, but we kill corruption together, oh.
Them they thief our money, send them obodo yibo. Children they suffer every day, better school in no day. Nigeria women come, oh. Women from every sector, make we fight corruption. We won't kill our country. Them go collect money for light, chop the money, light we no see. Good road and good health and call. We no see. I said na cankerworm, oh, na cankerworm, oh.
Join the EFCC in its crusade to rid Nigeria of corruption. Naija, now we all know.
14th of every year is being celebrated worldwide as the St. Valentine's Day, where love and friendship are marked by exchanging cards, flowers, chocolates, and candy. But for the EFCC, 14th February of 2020 is a day to remember as the maiden edition of the Nigerian Youth Walk Against Corruption. It was held in the 36 states of the Federation with the FCT inclusive. The walk, which was in collaboration with Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, youth, core members, women groups, civil society organizations, among others, participated. Amina Kawa tells us more.
The acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, has charged youth in Nigeria to take ownership of the fight against corruption and see themselves as anti-corruption crusaders. Magu, while leading Nigerian youth, members of the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC), civil society organizations (CSOs), the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC), Nigerian women, and other stakeholders on a walk against corruption in Abuja, which was replicated across the 36 states of the Federation, reiterated the critical role of the youth in the success of Nigeria. Magu said the choice of the 14th of February, being Valentine's Day for lovers, was strategically chosen in order to target the youth. Magu noted that the Commission believes that the NYSC was a veritable platform to rally the Nigerian youth against corruption.
We must not fight corruption because corruption is the greatest enemy of mankind. It's the greatest evil. It's the cause of all evils. If you can address the issue of corruption, there will be no problem. I am telling you. There will be no banditry. There will be no kidnapping. Corruption is essential for all these people, biases. So we must put heads together and fight corruption.
The acting chairman noted that the fight against corruption should not be left to the EFCC alone, stressing that it was essential to sensitize the youth against corruption, illicit financial flows, illegal oil bunkering, all of which contribute to economic sabotage. Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dari, who was part of the work against corruption in Abuja, said that it was going to be an annual event as the mind of the youth is a fertile ground and a potential force to raise an army against corruption in the society. The minister said youth work against corruption, which is novel in its implementation, won't end with the work, but will continue after with anti-corruption programs to run through the year at the various places of primary assignments of the youth corps members. Speaking at the Abuja event, Minister of Women Affairs, Dame Pauline Tallen, who joined in the work against corruption, noted that women and children were the major victims of corruption. Tallen, who expressed full support for the EFCC's efforts against corruption, said women will no longer sit and fold their hands while corruption is perpetrated in the society. On his part, President of the NLC, Ayuba Waba, commended the EFCC for the initiative, stressing that the Labour Congress will remain an ally of the EFCC as the anti-corruption agency is on the right path in sensitizing the youth against corruption and will not hesitate any day, anytime to identify with the cause of the EFCC. He further urged Nigerians to buy into the EFCC's anti-corruption fight. Leading the work against corruption in Lagos, Secretary to the Commission, Ola Olukoyede, said the Commission will ensure that those who had plundered the resources of the nation will be prosecuted and jailed through the instrumentality of the law. While urging Nigerian youth to continue to lend their voices against corruption, the Secretary enjoined the youth to see themselves as change agents.
What we are trying to showcase with this work is that it is a fight for everybody. It's not only for EFCC, it's not only for government, it's not only for the adult, it's also for the youth. If all of us can join hands together and say no, and say enough is enough, then we can bring corruption to its standstill. And that is the message we are passing across. Because the moment you can capture the youth, you will capture the future. And so, if the future is captured, then development, progress is guaranteed. So, when you create awareness on part of the youth, that corruption is wrong, that corruption can kill, that corruption can destroy. When they have that mentality, then they will stand up to what is right, and they will defend the cause of what is right.
Chairman, Trade Union Congress, Ekundayo Olubenga, who also joined other participants, including EFCC staff, reminded the youth that the future of this country belongs to them. As such, they must fight corruption to a minimal level.
integrity and accountability. My brothers, my sisters, if Nigeria will work for all of us, we must fight corruption.
In Kano, the roadwork was a huge success as thousands of people, including youth, women, students, civil society leaders, labor and faith-based clerics thronged the streets with banners, placards, NYNC musical band, open van music, and jesters, all campaigning against corruption, economic and financial crimes. The Kano rally, which terminated at Race Course Field, was led by the Director General of NYSC, Brigadier General Ibrahim Shuaibu, and the Zonal Head of EFCC Kano, Akaniyene Azima. In Port Harcourt, the River State capital, the head of the EFCC Port Harcourt office, Usman Imam, charged the youth to join in the fight against corruption and advised them to shun criminality and strive to wrestle the country from the grips of the corrupt. The Eagle crew spoke with some of the participants.
It's a welcome idea. I wish this will happen more and more, maybe every year, every month. I don't mind.
It's a good idea to get the Nigerian youth to actually participate in such a work. It's a good idea.
Yeah, the work is very exciting and very good for the nation. It expressed the collaboration between the EFCC and NYSC to enhance the corruption and practice that happens in the country.
Just to let you know, the program is an initiative of the EFCC in collaboration with the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development. Amina Kawa reporting for the Eagle.
For me to buy correct motor, for me to make my
Reminiscing as I walk to my car, thinking about how it used to be. For Ekoma, I did ride Okada, and most times I did so carry. I wanted to change the way I live, but I didn't have to do those things. Now I'm ruling VIP, and all the girls wanna be like me. Yeah. You ask me how I feel in my reality. Gotta tell you truly, it ain't easy now. I feel the pressure to find something wrong to do. Then I remember you reap what you sow. Now I'm sitting staring at the screen of my computer. I'm thinking really hard about what truly matters. What's with all this data? Just to catch a maga. He could have been my father or someone else's brother.
For me to buy correct motor, for me to make my dough. No need for me to go cafe. I hustle hard to make my pay. No need to do ya, to do ya.
We will all agree with Margaret Thatcher and Chanakya, who said, any woman who understands the problem of running a home will be nearer to understanding the problem of running a country, and also that the world's biggest power is the youth. These two quotes explain why the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, engaged the two most powerful arms of the society. So it is our hope that corruption will be brought to its barest minimum. And with that, we have come to the end of today's episode of The Eagle. You can kindly send your inquiries and suggestions to The Eagle at efccnigeria.org or search and follow us on all our social media platforms at Official EFCC. My name is Aisha Muhammad. I leave you with these parting words from Felipe V of Spain, who says, "We must not hesitate to cut corruption at its roots. So let's all do our part in seeing corruption is eradicated." From all of us here, it's goodbye, God bless Nigeria, and be kind to one another.